So yeah, let's kind of go over what happened, why it happened, what we could kind of change. This game,
Spook on.
we were pretty big. Let me just mute that. I don't want to hear myself. So we were actually huge this game, to be honest.
Hmm.
So one of the things, which obviously is clear from this game, is one of the main things that you want to be doing in these kind of low elos is you want to focus more on your own gold income
Hmm.
than your team. So obviously
Yeah.
there were some opportunities where we could have made things quicker, stuff like that. It's always going to be a little bit slower because obviously it's me saying do this, do that, and stand here, and it's like okay, like for example with the wall bit, it's like oh yeah, stand by the wall. It's like there's 16,000 walls in this game, like it's
Yeah.
so everything's always going to be a bit slow. But obviously in a VOD we can go over like things in a bit more detail. And so one of the first things that I think we should start avoiding is putting our ward down here. So one of the
Okay.
reasons for this is because what we want to be doing is since we're playing such a strong early game jungler, there's
Hmm.
very, very few junglers that can actually do anything into Warwick. Udyr can potentially skirmish with you, but you can still play around it and you can still get kills on him. And because of the nature of our queue, now I would say let's go with Flash more often, and just because
Okay.
I think there was 3 or 4 kills in this game where, or sorry,
A
near
flash
kills in
could
this
have.
game where
Or
Flash would have
flash.
got you,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially when it was like, we'll go over it when it comes up, but one of the main things that we want to be doing is we want to be as aggressive as possible. Now, one of the biggest things when it comes to lower elo junglers is
Hmm.
they'll often get confused about what to do if you put them into a kind of situation that they're uncomfortable with. So a lot of the times, if you
Hmm.
can interrupt them and disturb them on their first kind of jungle clear, it's going to throw them off massively. And then also
Yeah.
in these elos, the laners don't realize, um, they don't realize that what's actually happening within the jungle. So, for example, with mid and top, if the enemy jungler isn't ganking them, it doesn't matter if you're ganking
Hmm.
the lane or not, they're going to tilt. So, what you can actually do with that is you can basically tilt the entire enemy team with a good early invade. Now, one of the things we want to do with this is we want to be getting red buff, and then we want to come through here, and then let me just get my pen. Oh, that isn't what I wanted. So when this wants to load, give me a second. So basically, one of the things that we're looking to do is force weird decisions
Oh.
of things that they don't need. So
Oh
what?
my God.
What?
Sorry for interrupting
No,
you,
no,
but
it's
I
fine.
just realized this game was kind of shitty because they were in a 5 stack on the other team.
Okay, so I mean that's kind of good a good indicator that we did well though. So
Yeah.
um, so what we want to do is with our normal ward, not the sweeper, we want to walk to here and we want to normal ward the wolves. Now, when we normal ward the wolves, what we're going to do is we're going to see when the Wukong comes to them, and that's really, really good for us. So then what we do is when we put the ward down there, we blast count over. Now, what's going to happen is if, say, for example, this blue isn't here, if you blast cone to this area like this, you can sneak into the brush, and if they're on the gromp, because they did start top. Say for example, like we knew he started bot this time because bot leashed. But say for example, we're not paying attention or we're not
Hmm.
realizing, and we blast gone over and the blue's not there. What will happen is because we've gone red into this side. They'll be on the grump. Now, the fact that they're on the grump is really good for us, because we'll have red buff and they'll only have blue buff. So we
Okay.
already win skirmishes with the majority of champions in this game, and night
Uh,
like almost the entire jungle pool can't deal with Warwick in the early game, which
mhm.
is really really good. Now, obviously, you do get some situations where you get things like Master Yi if they manage to Q your E, so the fear doesn't go off. Then they can potentially do things into you, but it's very rare and like it's quite unusual for that to happen. Like
Okay.
unless it's by
So,
mistake.
yeah. Obviously, I have a question, but I'll
Yeah.
wait until
No,
the.
no, no. Of course.
So, what if the sides were reversed? What if I was going into red buff side? What would I do in this scenario? Like,
Well,
right, would I invade from red into
as
or
if you're
blue
going
into
here.
red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you do is you do the exact same thing. So this, so what you find with the game is even though it's split down here,
Hmm.
this is identical to this.
That, yep,
Yeah, so it's
absolutely.
mirrored. So this side is the same as this side, so you do the exact same thing. The only thing to be a little bit more wary of is obviously they have two people that can invade from the bot side, so this is slightly better on red side, but on blue side it's still fine as well, especially considering
Okay.
I'd say 9 out of 10 times, like bot lane will never move. Like they won't even
Yeah.
realize what's going on, especially in the early levels, like where they're like looking out for level 2 and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Like they're so hyper focused on what they're
Yeah.
doing that they'll never
Okay.
move.
So if no, okay, so my question just was like, so basically I always go red buff into blue buff, not top side into top side. Correct?
Yeah. So you go red into blue. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the one of the reasons why this is so good is because you have red buff, which
And they don't.
slows, gives you more HP regen, and
Burn over time, I
obviously it
think.
burns, yeah, which is
Yeah.
very very strong. So here the wall I was saying was just this one, and just so that you kind of tuck away in this wall here in case he comes up to his blue, and you get maybe an extra second. But that extra second can be the difference between you getting another Q up or stuff like that.
Okay.
So in this situation, obviously, we're a little bit blind because we don't see him. But we know he's going to be coming into this top side because junglers in these elos will never usually invade. This is one of the reasons why this is so
Yeah.
strong as well. Like, they just don't do it. So here, obviously, we see him. Obviously, we didn't manage to kill him, unfortunately. He did go into his...
Yeah, I should
thing.
have. I didn't
Yeah.
see. I didn't
So,
see like the Vagar pop there for a sec.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I should have looked at my map first, but I could have seen like the Vagar like going back, and I should have backed
Yeah.
out after I saw that. I
hmm
almost made it out though.
Yeah, nearly,
Almost
nearly.
made it.
So this was one of them situations where Flash would have actually helped a lot more, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not the end of the world. We still ended up taking his blue and his Grump. Grump is the highest single XP jungle camp.
Yep.
So getting that is super important. So here, for
Grump.
example, we want to get this Grump. Just because it gives so much XP, and we also saw him in topside, so we don't actually have to worry about this crab. The only reason, so why do you think the only reason we want this crab is? Since I already stated
Just
when we were
deny.
playing,
It's literally just to deny him XP,
so
right?
it's not. It's just to
Or
deny
vision.
him getting on the dragon.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
just so that if he goes on the dragon and he kind of walks through river, we'll know he's on it. That's pretty
Okay.
much it.
So vision.
Because yeah, vision really because it gives barely any XP or gold anyway. It does give something, but barely any. So what we want to do here is we want to actually clear this, and this, which means we're going to be away from the dragon. So having this actually just gives us a little bit of vision that we know,
Mhm.
if he starts it or whatever.
Yeah.
So here we get these. Okay, nice, nice, nice. So again, we're just farming. Now, the reason we want to farm here is because we know this dragon is spawning or available. And we want to make sure that we have, we're as strong as possible before we actually go to it. So this is why we don't really want them boots early, because it doesn't really give us a combat advantage, especially because we already have more than enough movement speed. That's why the ruby is better. Early HP is always super, super important, because even like an extra 200 HP is ridiculously valuable, purely because, that's a lot of additional auto attacks that they'll actually need to actually do something against you. So
Yeah.
it's very, very good. Like
Plus with
again,
Warwick where you
150,
can
like
heal.
even like 150 gold from Ruby is super, super valuable.
Yeah.
So here we can't go to our Krugs, because if we do, then we're gonna be way too far away from the dragon. And now we have this pickaxe gold. We want to just get straight on the dragon and do something. So we can we can ignore that control. It's
Yep.
not really too big of a concern for
Plus, I
us.
think at this distance they know we're on dragon, but I don't think they can see the
Yeah.
percentage.
So yeah, it's fine. We can get it quite easy there. And again, so now we're just back to clearing. We're just prioritizing our own gold income. And
Hmm.
also another advantage to this is because we reset before the dragon, we've already spent most of our gold. So now, because we heal so much as Warwick, we can go and get our red buff, and then we go into his top for another invade. So this is also why this clear is super, super good, because there's also a blast cone here every time you come for your second red buff. So what happens now is you get your red buff, and then you go into his blue again. You either get his blue, or you kill him, or both.
By taking the
So,
blast cone, right?
yeah, you can use this blast cone over in this situation. Like,
Okay.
just because it's a little bit quicker to use this blast cone and just come like around here.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no,
otherwise,
it's
this was
definitely
fine.
way quicker.
Actually, no,
Well,
it
I
was
mean,
bad because that was it.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So
it's actually bad this time.
I
Yeah,
unintentionally did a good thing here.
yeah. I mean, no, it was intentional, no? Like, obviously. So right
Sure.
here as well, so this is still good for us, right? Because we know this blue was only just spawned, so this is easy jungle tracking. So jungle tracking is pretty difficult, but there's certain
Mhm.
things you can do to make it easier, and this is one of those things. Like knowing this kind of sequence that camps are in, super valuable because we know that this blue is just spawned. So if we get
Mhm.
here and it's gone, we know that he is around this
He's
area. So
yeah.
what we should do here is obviously this is where we a little bit quicker. As soon as we see this, we need to go. Okay, he could be in this area. Camille is safe.
Yeah.
Shen's the target. So this is where we instantly start running up instead of wasting a little bit of time, and we'll get there like way sooner. But he didn't take the blast cone. We know that because he come from the
Yeah.
river.
And then this was like a big fuck up on my end. I could have backed up, but instead I got a little greedy because I
It's okay.
wanted
It's
to
okay.
see. Uh,
So here he's already got flash. Now this is a somewhat important concept. So the value of flash is actually much more valuable than the value of a kill. So if you kill
mhm,
him right now, what, 300 gold? Let's just say 300 gold to you. Okay,
mhm,
great. But by getting his flash, like if we get 300 gold but he doesn't flash, then he's not in any danger for the next levels. So he won't be in danger again for whatever amount of time. Whereas because he's used his flash, that means he's now in danger for 5 minutes. Whether that's from
mhm.
you or whether that's from Shen, whether that's from Camille, anyone, he's going to be in danger in this lane for 5 minutes because he uses flash. So we don't
Okay.
really need to kill him here. We can just back out and go to Herald, for example. It's only just spawned, but their top laner can't respond now. So what we can do is we come up, we help Shen push this wave, and then we instantly go into this Herald, and
Mhm.
we just get an advantage that way.
Okay. Oh wait, I did get the kill here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you did
I
kill him.
thought I just completely died, or was
No,
that
no.
later that I just completely got slowed and died?
And then he got level 6 off killing you. You see?
Oh shoot, yeah.
And
Huh.
that's because we were very close, but not quite there.
Yeah.
But still, this is fine. Now we do start walking here, but obviously it goes on. Now it is still worth walking to a fight because your camps are still going to be there. You know, like
Yeah.
it's they're still going to be there at the end of the day. You don't really need to fight. And then by getting here, we also get here in time to get on top of
Help
the
save with
Wukong. Yeah.
Wukong, yeah.
So this is kind of the first instance that I was saying about with your abilities.
The
So your W, yeah, especially because you're maxing it, which is really good. I really like W max Warwick. I prefer it to Q
I
personally.
I prefer it to Q as well.
Yeah,
I just feel like I stick on targets easier, plus like
yeah,
the movement or the attack speed.
yeah. I prefer W max Warwick. I mean, you can go Q if, for example, you're not going to be able to auto very much, because the attack speed won't be valuable. But that's only into like super long range, and they're not super long range. So here what we want to be doing is use the W movement speed to get in range, and then E into Q, and then you get the fear off, and then as the fear is ending, you use your ult, and you just get so much CC. You're basically chaining your abilities together really
Yeah.
nicely,
Oh,
which obviously we did do that later on in the game.
yeah. No, it's just like obviously like that's a what's it called? A great trick to have, but like my brain, like I've done it incorrectly. I always use my ult as a wave,
Engage.
like a gap closer. So it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, it's
yeah,
common. Don't worry. Like it's common. This is the thing. Like, I mean, a lot of Warwick players always do that, but this is the thing with League. Like, it can work doing that, but you
but it's
just kind of make it
better.
harder for yourself. Yeah, like if say
Yeah,
for example you ended up getting to a point where you hit 100% of your R's. Okay, maybe
mhm.
it's fine because what you can do then is as your R is ending, you can use your E into Q, and then you can still get the fear off. But the problem with that is you're just making things a lot harder for yourself, which it can still work, but it's like
It's just more consistent the way
yeah.
that you're saying.
With
No,
with
which
League, you want to make things as easy as possible because League is a difficult game. Like
Yeah.
League isn't easy, you know. It's definitely a hard game. Anybody that says League isn't hard is a complete liar, but unless you're like Faker. Oh yeah, this was the Minecraft exclusive, you know, like we're on PowerPoint, you know. Um,
You
so
literally meant mine. Like I thought you like actually meant like, oh no, they're playing Minecraft. Like I like for
yeah,
some
imagine just
reason some
Minecraft
Minecraft
popped
stream
open.
popped up.
Only on the Discord. Only on the Discord. That's it. So yeah, so here this, you know, we can't really do anything. Now, one of the big things here is we kind of screw ourselves a little bit. So one of the first things we should have done, I don't know why this is telling you to sweep here. That's kind of weird.
Wait, what?
Yeah, do you see it? There's a little arrow telling you to sweep. Oh no, it's just permanently there, I guess.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I thought
Well, it
I thought
always
it was
wants
like
me to sweep
detecting. Yeah, I
then.
thought it was detecting that you were looking for a gank.
I,
But
w- I was like, okay, well that's kind of
yeah,
broken.
I was gonna say that's very cheap. But either way, so what we want to do here is we want to sweep this area, and then we just want to sit in here because this right now is not in a position where we can really do anything, and we don't really want to give away vision of where we are for no real reason, you know. Because right now there's a dragon spawning, which you know is we can give it away. It's not huge, but there's a few things that we should have done in this scenario just to optimize what we did a little bit. So first we get this, which is completely fine. And then we take his top camps, which again, very, very good for us. So this is good. We get all this. So here also, I know this was kind of me telling you like where to go and what to do, but like just always keep checking the map, just see what's happening, especially when it comes to like things like camps. Just because here, I think you were going to run into top lane when his blue buff was
Yeah.
available. So we get this blue here, which is fine. So now what we actually want to do here,
Just go into our.
yeah. So there's one of the things that we really want to do here is we want to actually, even though Shen might get a little bit annoyed, we want to actually help him push this wave into tower so that we can herald. Because one of the main kind of points of our herald is that we want to pop it before the plates come down, because it's worth over a kill worth of gold.
Yeah.
Just by popping it down. So what we want to do here is actually put it down here, because then we want to go and clear all of our jungle out. Now the problem with us not using it now is by the time we finish clearing all this jungle out, and the plates have
It's
fallen.
14 minutes.
Yeah, so now it
Yeah.
means that the amount of time that we spend on this herald is actually not really done anything for us, and it kind of becomes a useless objective for us. So we lose quite a lot of tempo by doing that. So yeah, it's just something to be cautious of. But yeah. So here we just clear everything away, which is completely fine. Just because, so here as well, we have 2,100 gold, and it might seem greedy, but the amount of gold advantage that we have right now is really, really good for us. So what we want to do is we want to get that as large as possible so that our next reset is as big as possible, right?
Biggest.
'Cause
Yeah.
we don't really want to fight, so we're going to look to
No,
avoid any fights, but we want to make sure that we have as much gold as possible going back. And also, if we clear these camps away now, they're going to start respawning, whereas if we back
if we.
here, yeah, they're slowly
Yeah.
up. We're going to come out, and then what's also going to happen is we desequence our camps. So right now, this is going to spawn, and then this is going to spawn, and then because of how we clear, this will then spawn, and this will spawn. If we were to reset here, what we'll find is the next time these spawn, this is going to be up, then this is going to be up, and then we're going to have a massive amount of downtime from where we've recalled, gone to base, come back out, and then started taking this. So it just means that our gold income on the next spawn of the camps is actually much lower than it should be.
Yeah.
And XP, to be honest. XP is always the key. And then, yeah, here it's kind of like we probably should have just reset directly on this, because blue buff does help quite nicely on Warwick. And also we could use the gates to get here almost straight away. So there's not really any risk of him taking it, without dying at least. And then we will have our blue buff for way longer to actually impact the map. So it could be very, very nice to leave it up. But
Not just that, but looking back at it, blue buff isn't really like part of my sequence. Like jungle clear, it's just like
yeah,
if it's up,
yeah,
it's up.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the small camps respawn twice over by the same time that buffs have.
Yeah.
So this was okay. We got Vayne's
Uh,
flash. So again, the value of that flash is way more valuable than the value of getting a kill on her. So here we help push this in, and then we just go to this. Obviously, Herald here doesn't really do that much for us. It does stall them a little bit, but overall it's not really doing
yeah.
that much.
I
But
was Another thing was just like nobody had like obviously better to use it early even if we don't get a tower, but nobody had like any bit of their tower down
yeah,
low enough to like get like fully get a tower.
yeah, but that's okay though. So here, this is kind of what the part where you didn't notice the Vega at first. So
Hmm.
this mutual objective is still going to be here, because there's no way that the Wukong can take it, right? And he's not on it right
Yep.
now. So instead of
And
going for that,
Vigor is
yeah,
gonna
he's
move.
so overextended. We just want to make sure we punish this.
Plus we want to save tower.
Yeah, especially as well because we have Camille in lane who has CC too, which is really, really good for us. So now they come in as well. We get this dragon, which is good. And now we just go back to clearing.
Yep.
So again, we clear all these camps away. So again, like I said earlier, like when we're playing in these kind of like lower elos, you just want to prioritize getting gold income for yourself, farm up to your spikes, and then play from there. So get your spikes, and then you can look to do things. So here we know that his blue is up. So we go. Obviously, this plant, if you pop
Was
it. So if we look at the minimap down
vision.
here,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. Oh, actually,
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, I saw Shen
oh
do
yeah,
it
there's
just
one down the
now.
bot side as well. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like that wave that goes through. Like they actually see that. Like
Okay.
even if they don't have vision of it. So you basically alert them that you're there, and
Oh,
then it
you're
gives
looking
them
there.
the ability to potentially collapse on you. Even though they don't hear, it's still something to know.
Okay, and then getting Gnar after. He
Yep.
wasted. I guess he has this like warded over here. But
Uh,
well, because
yeah, I
he
think
came
he did.
directly
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. I think it was watered.
And then Wukong was
Um,
there as well, and
but
I
yeah.
think I died.
So the trick to Nara as well. If we, so see this little bar under
Yeah.
his HP bar. So that fills up. So it'll be yellow, 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 and then when it's red, it means as soon as he uses an ability or in a brief amount of time, he'll turn mega. So if that bar is red, we usually want to go out, like stay out of the
Bait it
fight.
out.
Because if
Yeah.
we can fight him in mini, that's better because he has no ultimate ability.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't
Okay.
go back to Mega anytime soon after he's just dropped out of it. So we did want to wait, but obviously he starts coming towards us, which is fine. We use that E, so we take no damage, which is good. And then he walks into it. Wukong is here, but we have ult, we can get away. So it worked. It weren't the end of the world, and we did keep the turret alive, which is good because they've also got bounties. Here you just want to start running into them.
Oh yeah.
Especially
I thought
because
that was like fucking because it's the same glow as what like when Harold just is about to
oh
like
yeah,
drop.
no, it was no, it was the Shen. So the reason why we just want to go here is because we have Titanic and Ruby, so we have a ton of HP, 2,000 HP. Even right
Mm-hmm.
now we have 1,200, and we also have steel caps, so they're both AD auto attackers.
Yeah.
So we could have gone earlier. It's okay though. So
Plus we had shields from Shen.
yeah,
Yeah, this is where I should not have
yeah, this was when we kind of kept going.
faced.
So yeah, so Na's first ability that he maxes is Q, and that's 35% slow. So that
Mm-hmm.
Q alone is very obnoxious for you to do anything into, which is why it's kind of good. So here, what we also want to be doing is this dragon's not up for 1 minute 30. So what we actually
Your
want
top
to do,
into bottom,
yeah,
red into
top
blue.
into
Okay.
bottom, yeah.
Okay.
Because we're not really going to do that much. And then what's going to happen here is we clear this bot side, and then the dragon's going to be spawning, and our top side is available. So if we got, say, an advantage, he's still gonna. I mean, to be fair, she would have taken our blue, but it's still, I mean, it's still not the correct play, even if she does griefers, you know.
Yeah, no, it's not the correct play, but also like it just like brings out like another thing where it's like I'm just like I subconsciously try to go to blue because Gromp and it's just like Gromp is like just so easy for me to kill, whereas
Yeah,
like Krugs and Raptors are a little bit more annoying on
yeah.
Warwick in specific.
It's not too bad once you got your team out though. So here, obviously, we're spending all our gold so that we can, you know, have a really big fight on the dragon, if needs be. We don't really need it though. We do get a good ult onto the vein, and we end up killing her, right? Yeah. And we get him, right? Yep. Shame Rakan took the kill, but
I think
it's fine.
yeah, I think Rakan griefed that
Yeah.
kill, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay, it's okay. So the next thing here is when you're leaving kind of a fight, what you want to do is you want to just try and stick with as many people as possible. Because right now you've just killed two of them. So no matter
Mm-hmm.
what happens, it's going to be a maximum of a
3v3.
3v3, but Nas top, so it's going to be 3v2. So if you just stick with them, even if they come, you know, you have a better chance. Whereas because we kind of split off into the jungle,
Well, that I
uh,
guess that's just because of like lack of like communication. I didn't know where they were going.
yeah,
Right? Like in my head, like breaking like line of sight with Nautilus so he can't hook me was like more important. But
yeah,
no,
but
I definitely see what you mean. That's
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of like why I did what I did.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, like, here he already kind of griefed his hook. But it's also kind of one of them things because it's like, so what also happened here is because we ran this way, Samira had to run around like this. Whereas if we'd have
Mhm.
run up
Yeah.
like this, she would have been in the fight, and the fight would have kind of happened here. And then we could have potentially maybe fought and maybe won there because, again,
Hmm.
3v2. But we get
Yeah.
our Sunfire, we're now really, really strong. And now we just look fight. So, like here, for example, and we just want to make sure we're fighting. Just because we're just so strong. So see, we're just huge. And this is down to the fact that, you know, we've been farming. So even though he's been kind of running around the map, getting pressure, getting tempo, it doesn't really matter because
Yeah.
we're so huge from just farm. So
Okay.
this was kind of again, like, because we farmed so much, we ended up, you know, surviving this.
Surviving. Oh,
And this
look at
ended up,
that 60 fire damage.
yep.
Drop back down to 30.
But yeah, this is the thing. That's kind of like the perfect example of why farming is, you know, your go-to when
Hmm.
you're playing jungle, especially in low elos. Where if say for example this was like diamond, then there's more of a pressure for you to help lanes because say for example if let's say you've got an on top lane into like a Darius, that's a matchup where it's ridiculously favorable for Darius. He hard wins it.
Hmm.
And, you know, if Ornn falls behind and doesn't get XP, then he's going to be, you know, not too great, and Darius is just going to steamroll the entire game. So in that situation, obviously, you'd be like, okay, I need to gank top more. But in these elos, like, that Darius will miss 60% of his CS anyway. And the Ornn might actually get a kill against him because Darius doesn't know his damage. So it's, you know, it doesn't really matter as much in these elos, so you can just kind of focus on yourself. So here we clear all bot side, which is good. And so there is also, what you can also do is, say for example, because this is a big component item, and it has nothing coming off it, right? So it has
Hmm.
no like long swords, nothing like this, whereas this has two long swords. So
Ah,
what you can do
I
is you can
see.
pick this up, because
And
then
then,
say if you back with 350 gold, you can still buy something.
well, yeah, no, I would have had 350 gold even if I bought that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. No, no, no. No, I wouldn't.
No,
I
you
would have
wouldn't. No,
had
you
like
wouldn't. 875.
325.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, I would have
875.
had 325.
But either way, like then when you reset, you can
Then
still
I'm
get,
guaranteed an
yeah,
item.
yeah. Whereas here, because we get this, we have to reset on 875. So you know, if a team fight goes to shit, then it could be a little bit more awkward.
Okay. Now I see what you're saying. Now I see what you're saying because in my head it was like it gives more value because
Yeah,
it's same attack. Like, sure, it's more expensive, but I was gonna have to buy it anyway.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it is still okay. I mean, it does still give you that haste, which is nice. And buying the more expensive item is completely fine as well. But yeah, so this was a pretty big fight considering.
Yeah, I should have walked back to my tower instead of towards the Nautilus, but that's okay.
So unfortunately, we didn't actually manage to get the ult on them, but
Well, no, if I did get the ult on them, I think I would have been stunned. Right, like if they were any closer to the cage, I think I would have been stunned.
what do you mean? Sorry.
The Vagar cage. So if you go back, I ult through his cage.
Yeah.
And if you land the if like for example, if they were like a little bit back, I think I would have been in range for the cage to actually stun me once I actually land the ult. And then they would have just gotten free.
Oh, the reason I was confused for a second then is because your ultimate makes you immune from CC.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
once
why I
you
was.
land, see
Yeah.
if they landed right where I did, I would have been like frozen on top of the ult, and then I would have been stunned because unfortunately
Yeah.
the immunity
Maybe.
doesn't last through the entire ult animation just while you're in air.
Yeah.
So that one I
Maybe.
was kind of
Yeah.
lucky.
Potentially.
It was so close to call. It was like way too close to
Yeah.
call.
It's fine though.
Yeah.
So here, yeah, just remember the gates exist. They're super OP. So they did get a dragon, which is a shame. So this is the reason why I actually really like Warwick though, is because in these situations now, like you just wanna keep fighting because you do so much damage and you heal so much that like fighting permanently it will always happen in these eras. Like people are obsessed with fighting like permanently. So this champion is just in his absolute element in low
Yeah.
elo. That's why I think he's ridiculously good for learning. And then here again, like we heal so much that we can easily just get this Baron.
Yeah. Yeah. And okay, so Warwick, obviously I know him well, obviously, really good in this elo, but what are other like champions you recommend playing?
I mean, there's things like a Moo, Volibear, is
Okay.
ridiculously oppressive. Trundle is very strong at the moment too. Um,
Okay.
who else? I mean, it depends. If you like these beefy champions, things like Sejuani, Rammus is very good.
Mm-hmm.
If you want somebody with a bit more damage, I personally
Pain.
like Xin Zhao and stuff like that. So, I mean, it depends
Okay.
really. I'd say just try free weak champs and normals and just see how it goes.
Yeah.
There's no real kind of like big um,
Yeah.
like thing on who you play. It's more how you play them.
Okay. Because even if I don't like main them or like keep them in like my like just like rotation or anything, I think learning new junglers will help like broaden the horizons. And
Yeah,
if I fight against them, I know their weaknesses a bit better.
yeah, do it. Like the best thing to do is like so. One of the things I always do is if there's a champion that completely rolls me and I don't know how to like beat it, I'll just play the champion, and then I'll see how somebody else beats me on it, and then from there I know what to do. So, Force of Nature, again, a very, very good item. Because obviously Vega's going to be doing a massive amount of magic damage, but they have so much CC. So, the thing to Force of Nature is you get stacks every single time you take magic damage. Now, why do you think it's very, very important that it's when you take magic damage?
Because Veigar is over here with a lot of bursts.
Okay, so Vega has magic damage.
And then the amount is CC.
Yeah, so CC2, yeah. But
So I don't
But
know.
why do you
Huh?
think it's also really big this game specifically?
In
What's
this game.
Nautilus's main form of damage?
Oh wait, his is magic?
Yep,
Okay,
Nautilus is
okay.
magic damage.
I did not know that. I thought he was 80.
Wukong, do you think Wukong has any magic damage?
I'm gonna assume since you put him up here, I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, his E is magic damage.
Okay.
So he also has magic damage. Na, do you think
Okay,
he has?
I know nothing about him, but I'm gonna say definitely.
Yeah. So I will just double check that. I'm 99% sure that his W gives magic damage.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. His W is magic damage as well. So again, Another tick. Vayne is the only one that doesn't do magic damage here. So this item will stack so quick in this situation, and then on top of that, when you get CC'd, you get 2 stacks instead of 1. So obviously Nautilus, Veigar, Wukong, like all of them CC you, Na as well. So because they have Anna and Vayne actually, so because they have so much CC, if they target you and they blow you up, then not only are you going to get not only are you gonna, well, you're gonna stack it instantly, which is great. It gives a lot of decent stats: 350 HP, 70 magic resist, and then 5% movement speed. But then on top of that, when you do get 6 stacks, you get 10% bonus movement speed, and you reduce all magic damage by 25%. So this Veigar, all of the damage that Veigar does to you will be reduced by 25%. So it's ridiculously broken, like in this scenario.
Okay.
Especially because, like I said, like they all of them except Vayne actually do magic damage, so they can all give you stacks.
Yeah, and if you look there, I think no, not there. And like any other team fight at the way end, when I do have Force of Nature, I have 6 stacks.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. So this was obviously a shame because they just stack so much on you.
Yeah.
Like that was a really
But that's
good
okay, because like if either Shen or I take all the CC, that just makes it way easier for like Samira or like
plus
Camille
instant
to come in.
defense. Yeah.
But I feel like, not saying I did great or anything, right? But I feel like the Samira was very lackluster. Like I feel
Yeah.
like a good chunk of the game they were just trying to like you know, they were following me around in jungle trying to
Yeah,
take my
and
camps.
AFK. Like this is where she starts being AFK.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Oh, you know
it's one of
what?
them.
I could probably just report this Samira for AFK.
Yeah.
I'm
So
still in like,
this was a shame you didn't get the ult. So here, because we know he's already used his W, we know we can instantly ult, right? So the Shen goes over. So that's where we just instantly use our ultimate to get on him. Because,
yeah.
there's very little chance he can get away from that. So we catch him here, which is good. So here, this is kind of where we could have kept going and kept doing damage to him.
Well, yeah,
But
I was
we
just
just didn't.
like my brain, like, I don't know. I guess I was expecting not to go over the wall with
Yeah, yeah,
him,
yeah.
but I
Yeah,
did.
I could
Cause
tell
like,
what happened. Like, it was confusing.
yeah, cause like I don't know, Wukong's like his little teleport thing is weird because sometimes I attach to his like clone, but sometimes I
Yeah.
don't.
It depends when he uses it and when you use your Q. So if
Yeah.
you manage to hold your Q on him before he presses W, you'll go through. But because there's a slight delay on the Q, you'll go through where he ends up rather than where he is. That's why it's a good matchup for Wukong, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So here we get the Veigar, which is good.
Huge
So
shutdown.
yeah, here like just don't bother with the CS. It doesn't really matter. It's not important. We want to make sure that we go for the fight because the soul is spawning. So here we just want to keep fighting. Especially because, like they're CCing, but looks instant. So let's actually look at your stack. So you have 1 stack. Oh. So we get 1 stack off the Veigar because he hits us with 1 ability. And then we'll see when
Okay.
we go in here actually that we start getting CC'd.
Oh, yeah, like
Yeah,
instant.
instant, yeah. So in the situations where Force of Nature is good, it's really good.
Yeah, and as you can see, like I barely took any damage out of that fight.
Yeah. Like Nautilus will never do anything to you. Even though he won't do a massive amount anyway, but still reducing magic damage by 25% is ridiculous. It's crazy. So then here I get a fight again. Like if we watch the Force of Nature again, we kind of go for the fight.
Okay, and 1, 2, 6.
Yeah, instant again.
Okay.
So this is good that we've actually dropped back to Peel.
Yeah, and at this point, our
Shame we couldn't
Samira
get
is
it.
just kind
So
of like too
yeah,
low to help.
so this is another one of the situations where again, if we had Flash,
Yeah, we could have flashed out of the
yeah,
cage.
we could have actually killed all of them. I think though.
Oh yeah, no, like literally, if it weren't for that cage, I think
Yeah.
or if I had ult, but like yeah, you're right. Flash would have been the right move for that.
So this fight was whatever. Oh, this was actually the fight that lost the game, right? Oh yeah, so we kind of just got caught here. So they had the same idea of you to go for that red buff, but everybody wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
So as soon as you see that ward, like
Yeah, no, I just okay.
Because here we didn't even get a chance to turn out Eon.
Yep.
Which, would have been pretty big. And then to be fair, they almost won this fight. I mean, Camille kind of popped off. She did kind of go back in, which a little bit crazy considering it was 1v3 and she had no HP, but and then they end off it. But either way, it doesn't really matter too much. So obviously there was a lot to digest there. But yeah, so I think just keep playing this playstyle and just see how it goes. Again,
yeah, just like force the camps, right? Like start red side, clear red buff, go into blue side.
Yeah.
Try
so
to take that.
Yeah, you'll end up getting so many advantages. It's hilarious. It is a little bit flip, and obviously it wouldn't work in high elos, but it's fun.
Yeah.
You can get very, very ahead, and then you can start learning how to close out games with a lead, and then you'll learn how to play from behind eventually, and it's good for learning. So yeah, I think focus on these things. See how that goes.